Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to your 2018 Special Olympics Virginia Summer Games. We're going to recognize a few very special people, so pay special attention because they have done a lot for our program. Every year there are thousands of athletes and volunteers who contribute to Special Olympics in so many ways. Selecting a few volunteers and athletes each year to recognize as outstanding representatives of the program is a difficult task. But these award recipients that we are honoring tonight have each has made an outstanding contribution to the Special Olympics Virginia program. Without the support of the Halifax County Public Schools, Special Olympics Virginia Area 15 would not have been a successful program, according to Area Coordinator Barbara Haven. For over 30 years, the Halifax County school-based program has held practices and competitions during the school day in basketball, bocce, soccer, and track and field. The Halifax schools provide transportation for swimming and bowling, two sports that occur off-site. The school system supports and encourages its staff members to become council members, coaches, volunteers, and unified partners. School staff members, students, and parents are engaged in Special Olympics fundraising activities throughout the year. Accepting the award on behalf of the Halifax County Public School System is the superintendent of the Halifax County Public School System, Dr. Mark Linneberg, Director of Special Education, Catherine Glass, and teacher and longtime Special Olympics volunteer and coach, Barbara Haven. Please recognize Special Olympics Virginia School of the Year, the Halifax County Public Schools. The Dreyer family has been involved in Special Olympics for 14 years. Dad, Fred, has been involved as a chaperone, coach, and a unified partner. Mom, Victoria, as a unified partner. Chrissy is a multi-sport athlete and represented Special Olympics Virginia and the USA at the 2017 Special Olympics World Winter Games in Austria as a speed skater. Bridget has been a chaperone, coach, and a unified partner. Mariana, the newest addition to the Dreyer family, has been an athlete for the past 3 years. Special Olympics is important in the life of Team Dreyer, and Team Dreyer has become an essential part of Special Olympics in Chesterfield County and Area 6. Please join me in congratulating Fred, Victoria, Chrissy, Bridget, and Mariana Dreyer, Family of the Year. Got his cheering section over here, okay? Matt Adamo from Blacksburg has been involved in Special Olympics for 15 years. He has served as a unified partner in basketball, volleyball, and softball, has competed in 3 national invitational tournaments, and will be competing as a unified partner in the USA Games in Seattle next month with the softball team from Blacksburg. He volunteers at the annual Springs Games, helping organize and lead the softball throw. He has been a global messenger mentor, and in his spare time, as if he actually has any spare time, he officiates Special Olympics basketball in adjoining Carroll County. He has recruited his daughters to participate, basketball, softball, and volleyball. He is an active fundraiser and participates in the New River Valley Polar Plunge. Matt started with Special Olympics to see if he could help change lives, and quickly realized how much Special Olympics had changed his. Ladies and gentlemen, Area Volunteer of the Year, Matt Adamo. Stephanie Ball became interested in volunteering after attending the Special Olympics Fan Quest in Northern Virginia in 2015. She has volunteered on both the Plane Pull Family Festival at Dulles Airport and on the Polar Plunge in the Northern Virginia at Thames River Shore. She has also been a valued volunteer at the Potomac Regional Basketball Tournament and a site manager for both the regional and local basketball tournaments. Now, most of you know this, so listen carefully. At tournaments where our players and coaches are very competitive, and at special events like the Plane Pull, where the crowds are very big and very intense, situations involving quick decision-making often occur. Because of Stephanie's experience and ability to manage the challenge, no one handles the job of event manager better than her. Let's recognize Program Volunteer of the Year, Stephanie Ball. Coach Jane Hancock has been involved as a volunteer for over 20 years. As do many of our coaches, she sacrifices countless hours to ensure that the athletes in Goochland Special Olympics have adequate practice time, the experience of playing multiple sports, and the opportunity to compete at the local, regional, and state levels. In addition to coaching, she has been instrumental in establishing unified sports in Goochland Special Olympics and has implemented a young athletes program at the preschool level in the Goochland County Public Schools. She's passionate, she is persistent, and she is dedicated, and she tirelessly advocates for inclusive opportunities for students with intellectual disabilities. Please join me in congratulating this year's Coach of the Year from Goochland, Coach Jane Hancock. Thank you. The Virginia Knights of Columbus and COBAR have supported Special Olympics for over 30 years. They contribute $25,500 annually to your area programs so athletes can attend summer games. They are the presenting sponsor of the Fall Championships, providing over 300 volunteers during the weekend. They provide valuable leadership on the Special Olympics Board of Directors. They provide inclusive opportunities for athletes to become members of the Knights of Columbus. They are a national and international partner of Special Olympics. They support the USA Games, the World Games, and they will be supporting the 50th anniversary celebration of Special Olympics in Chicago in July. They are a SOVA Legends partner and have contributed over $1.6 million to Special Olympics Virginia. Accepting on behalf of the Virginia Knights of Columbus are State Deputy Steve Kehoe, past State Deputy and Chair of the Special Olympics Virginia Board of Directors, Kelly Martinson, and the immediate past Chair of the Knights of Columbus, Mike Gaspar. Please join me in welcoming the Virginia H. Foster Winning Spirit Award winner, the Virginia Knights of Columbus and COBAR. Now for the biggest award that we give all year. Sarah Narberg has been involved in Special Olympics since 1996. She is a basketball player. Nobody shoots the rock like Narberg. A bowler. Nobody hits the pocket like Narberg. And a soccer player. Bend it like Narberg. And she also plays, I understand, a pretty mean game of bocce. She's been a Special Olympics athlete, global messenger, and has served as the athlete representative on the Area 23 Council for Prince William Special Olympics. In addition to her Special Olympic activities, Sarah has helped with the Circle of Support Conference, sponsored by the Arc of Prince William, and supported transition fairs in the Prince William County Public Schools. According to her area coordinator, Peggy Van Lowe, Sarah is one of those rare individuals who is always upbeat and encouraging. Please join me in welcoming our Athlete of the Year from Prince William County in Area 23, Sarah Narberg. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. And one more time, welcome all of your award winners for this year's Special Olympics Virginia program. Thank you.
Tonight, in this great stadium, a new legend is
We are about to get started, but before we kick things off, I want to remind you guys that we will have a short, quiet fireworks show at the end of the ceremony. Yes. If the lights and noise are uncomfortable for you or someone you're with, please exit the stadium as we introduce the torch run. So give us a couple minutes and enjoy the show.
everybody. How we doing out there today, right? Yeah, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, athletes, coaches, chaperones, volunteers, sponsors, and fans, a very pleasant good evening to you and welcome to Special Olympic Virginia's Summer Games here at the University of Richmond. My name is Mark Davis. I'm the sports director at NBC 12 here in Richmond, and it is an honor, a privilege, and I'm very happy to once again be part of this special evening and spend it with all of you. So without further ado, what do you say we get this show underway, huh? Okay, if now you'll please rise and remove your hats as honor guards from agencies across Virginia host our nation's colors. Performing tonight's national anthem, please welcome singer-songwriter Susan Greenbaum.
Does that star-spangled banner
Thank you very much, Susan, and also a big thank you to all of the honor guards for joining us here tonight. Now, we're already looking forward to welcoming back Susan a little bit later for a very special performance, so we're going to hear from her a little bit later on. But right now, let's give a very warm welcome to the University of Richmond's Vice President and Director of Athletics, John Hart. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Mark, and good evening, everyone. And welcome to the University of Richmond, the home of the Richmond Spiders. On behalf of the university and Spider Athletics, I'm delighted to welcome all the athletes, your families, your friends, and your fans to the 2018 Summer Games. You go. While I know this is an important weekend for all of you competitors and coaches, I want you to also know that this is a very special weekend for all of us at the University of Richmond as well. This is the university's 37th year hosting the Special Olympics, Virginia Summer Games. And our entire university community is honored to have you here as our guests. In this regard, and before I go any further, I want to give a big thank you to the dedicated members of the University of Richmond team, as it takes a lot of people to make this wonderful event happen. From our incredible dining hall workers, to the men and women who work in facilities and housekeeping, to our helpful police officers and security staff, to our dedicated coaches and summer camps and conferences staff. Thank you all for your hard work and great efforts in making this a very successful special event. And of course, I extend a huge thank you to the more than 1,000 Special Olympics volunteers who work tirelessly to support this weekend, as well as the 400 coaches, over 1,000 family members, and more than 2,000 fans from the community. All of you contribute to the success of these wonderful summer games. Thank you. And now to our athletes, all 1,400 of you. You are the reason we are here this weekend, and we're excited to cheer you on and celebrate your achievements during these summer games. We wish you the very best as you make new friends, support your teammates, successfully compete in your sports, and most of all, have fun and enjoy the summer games. Once again, on behalf of the entire University of Richmond community, welcome to our campus and best of luck in your competitions this weekend. Thank you.
Tonight, in this great stadium, a new legend is born.
You athletes are the heroes of that legend.
You are the stars, and the world is watching you.
By your presence, you send a message to every village,
Every city, every nation. A message of hope. A message of victory.
the right to play on any playing field. You have earned it.
The right to study in any school. You have earned it.
The right to hold a job. You have earned it.
The right to be anyone's neighbor. You have earned it. The days of segregation and separation are over.
You Special Olympians have thrilled us on the playing fields of the world.
You have taught us that what matters is not power or politics, weapons or wealth.
What truly counts is the courageous spirit, the generous heart.
Tonight, just as Mrs. Shriver shared years ago, you are the stars. Each day, in every community, you continue to send a message of hope, a message of inclusion, a message that was ignited 50 years ago in 1968 at Soldier Field in Chicago, where the first Special Olympic Games were held. For the first time on that historic July day, people with disabilities had their own playing field. For the first time, people with intellectual disabilities were placed on a podium and publicly rewarded in recognition of their athletic abilities. July 1968 was a fertile time for change, a time when the culture was open to new ideas, a time to bend the old norm and shape a new one. 5 decades later, we gather here tonight in celebration to celebrate this revolution, to celebrate 50 years of unity and empowerment. Athletes, please stand if you're able now. Each and every one of you deserve applause for your courage. You are the stars, and tonight we celebrate you guys. And now, please help me welcome Special Olympics Virginia athlete and 50th anniversary global messenger, David Egan, to the podium. David will represent Virginia in Chicago next month at the 50th anniversary celebration, which will include a unified cup, torch run, and global day of inclusion. Welcome, David. David, welcome. Thank you very much.
How's everyone doing tonight? Now, normally I can hear you, but I want to make sure everyone from all over Virginia can hear you. How you doing? Thank you, Mark, for that introduction. I'm thrilled to be here tonight and to share the stage with our distinguished guest. I'm also truly honored to represent Special Olympics Virginia at next month's anniversary celebration in Chicago. A few minutes ago, we watched a video which quoted our founder, Eunice Kennedy Shriver. I love her quote about all that we Special Olympics athletes have earned. In fact, I quote those very lines in many of my speeches. So if Eunice is here, I want to say thank you, Eunice Kennedy Shriver. Tonight, as we enter into Special Olympics next 50 years, I want to add to that list of what we have earned. The right to lead the dignity revolution. We have earned it. The right to be radically inclusive in the workplace, at school, and in our communities. We have earned it. The right to lead the way to a more respectful, inclusive, and unified world. We have earned it. When I say we have earned it, I mean each and every one of us here tonight. The athletes, families, volunteers, sponsors, and coaches in our communities. In a world which clearly needs to be more respectful, more inclusive, and more unified. We can be the stars that light the way toward that world. The first 50 years are only the beginning, and I can't wait to see what is in store for the next 50. I know that we are up to these challenges. So everyone, Special Olympics Virginia, lead on and shine on. Are you with me? I said, are you with me? Come on, Virginia, are you ready? Game on! Thank you all!
Thank you, David. That was terrific. Thank you very much. Thank you, David. Very well done. And now please welcome Miss Laura Harrison and Chris Frauke, Director of Parks and Recreation, who bring a special message on behalf of Richmond Mayor LeVar Stoney.
Good evening. Welcome to the city of Richmond. On behalf of Mayor LeVar Stoney, I would like to welcome you all to our great city. He regrets that he was not able to come tonight, but he did share some words that I would like to share with you all tonight, and also share a little insight with you guys too, that for the last 25 years, I have actually worked with Special Olympics. I am new to Richmond, but I am not new to Special Olympics. I see the greatness of all that you all do here, and I'd like to take a moment, first of all, to thank all the coaches that are here. Let's give them a big round of applause. We know that they put in countless hours for you all on a regular basis to make sure that you succeed in your athletic competitions. Let's also give it to those parents that make sure you get to the practices and are there to support you and cheer you on a regular basis. And most importantly, let's hear it for the athletes that on a regular basis inspire greatness in all of us and all that you all do. It is amazing that Special Olympics has been around for 50 years, and to see all the greatness that has come over the years develop, and see such a huge program as 1,400 athletes competing here for the next 2 days. It's a completely amazing thing to see that happens, and all the wonderful benefits. I hope you guys have a great visit here, and I know one of the favorite things you're going to enjoy is that dance tomorrow night. Now it's with my pleasure to introduce Laura from the Mayor's office to give the proclamation.
Yes. Thank you, Chris. On behalf of Mayor Stoney and all the citizens of Richmond, I would like to formally present this proclamation to the Board of Directors Chairperson, Kelly Moritzen. We wish to honor the Special Olympics athletes, their accomplishments, and wish them all the great success in their future endeavors. And now it is with my great pleasure to invite Senator Tim Kaine to the podium, a longtime friend and fan of Special Olympics Virginia.
Happy 50th birthday, Special Olympics. Some of you are too young to remember that 1968 was a very, very challenging year. It was a year where some great American heroes, Martin Luther King, Bobby Kennedy, were assassinated. It was a year of very difficult protests against the Vietnam War and protests at the presidential conventions in Miami and Chicago. But an important lesson of 1968 is that even in a difficult year, wonderful things can happen. Wonderful things can happen. Congress passed the Federal Fair Housing Act in 1968, guaranteeing people the right to live where they want, regardless of their race, disability, gender, religion, national origin. The country started on a path of protecting wild and scenic rivers all over the United States. And I would argue that maybe the best thing that happened in 1968 was the beginning of the Special Olympics movement that has spread all over the country and all over the world. "21,000 Virginia athletes have competed in order to produce 1,500 winners here at the University of Richmond. To all 21,000, I offer my congratulations." Two 2,000 law enforcement officers have participated in the torch run as they do every year. Let's give a big round of applause for the great support that law enforcement offers to Special Olympics. Special Olympics Virginia now offers programs in 450 schools around the Commonwealth, directly serving about 15,000 young people, but making an impression upon hundreds of thousands of students. Who would have thought that would be the case 50 years ago? It's truly a loaves and fishes story that from something small has grown this great movement. And the last thing I'll say is, after this wonderful weekend, and I very much appreciate what the University of Richmond has done for 37 years to host this, and I've been here as a mayor, a lieutenant governor, a governor, and senator, and seen the hospitality that the university provides. In July, 46 wonderful Virginia Special Olympians, athletes, adult leaders, 4 team members will go to Seattle for the 50th anniversary National Special Olympics. What a wonderful thing to have those Virginians represent us so proudly. Have a wonderful weekend. Good luck in Seattle. Thanks so much.
How about one more hand for our great speakers that we've had here tonight so far? I mean, wow. So now it's time to get things moving a little bit. I don't think anyone here really objects to that. We couldn't be more excited to welcome back Susan Greenbaum to the stage, along with several special guests from Spark's Live Art. Now, while they gather, we'd like to share a little bit more information about Live Art. In Live Art classes, students with a range of disabilities work alongside their typically developing peers in a variety of visual and performing arts classes. They build relationships and understanding of one another using Spark's unique curriculum based on acceptance, compassion, and empathy. The program focuses on individualized support to help students be successful in the classroom, on stage, and beyond. Last weekend, the Live Art troupe gathered at the Altria Theater for an amazing performance to a sold-out audience. To learn more about Spark and Live Art, visit sparkonline.org. Now, let's welcome back Susan and Spark.
I'm so excited to get to sing these next 2 songs with my friends, all my friends, a subset of all my friends from Spark and Live Art and Spark Live Art. And I want to make sure they all get in place because you're going to want to hear their beautiful voices. We picked these songs especially for tonight, and we think that they convey the message not only of Live Art, but also of Special Olympics. And we're so proud to sing them for you tonight.
Now if you're
It's exciting to get to sing it. Last weekend I sang backup. I was the backup vocal chick for Michael McDonald. He does it way better than I do, but he wasn't available tonight, so I stood in for him. And we have a song for you next that was written by John Hyatt, and it's one of my favorite songs, and I think that it speaks to, again, the messages of inclusion, of striving, of knowing that there are going to be tough days, but that we all can work together and we all can set our sights on a goal and make it happen. And that's exactly what we all did together in putting together this song. So here we go.
Your voice can command, and it
wasn't it? That was terrific. How about one more round of applause for our performers there? That was great, everybody. That was very well done. Next up, please give a warm welcome to Special Olympics Virginia Board Chairman Kelly Mortensen. Kelly?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Special Olympics of Virginia Summer Games, and on this 50th anniversary of Special Olympics. At Special Olympics Virginia, we're all working daily to transform lives through the joy of sports and to inspire an inclusion revolution. Through sports, we build athlete leaders who model fitness, advocacy, and improve performance on and off the playing field. For our athletes, we provide access to quality health care and hundreds of medical examinations through our Healthy Athlete and MedFest initiatives. With inclusive school programs in over 450 schools, Special Olympics Virginia continues to promote inclusion, unified sports, and youth leadership. With exciting special events like the Polar Plunge and the Torch Run, we continue to build a bigger, better Special Olympics community. As we move forward, all of this will result in positive attitudes about how we view each other and how all of us can include each other in our lives. None of what we do at Special Olympics would be possible if not for the financial and in-kind support of individuals and our corporate sponsors. I would like to take a minute and recognize a few special Summer Games sponsors. The great folks at Hardee's, the Knights of Columbus, the Law Enforcement Torch Run, Summit Media, our great host, the University of Richmond, NBC 12, and the wonderful folks at Sheets. Let's give a huge Special Olympics thank you to all of our sponsors for making these Summer Games possible. So now, on a personal note, in a few short weeks, my term as chairman of the board will come to an end. I've had the honor of serving on the board for 7 years. It has been a life-changing experience, an experience I shall cherish forever. I've met so many heroes along my way. The first group of heroes is the staff of Special Olympics of Virginia. I have never met a finer group of people that work tirelessly to serve the athletes and their families and do it with such passion and love. The second group of heroes are the athletes. I am constantly inspired and humbled to hear their stories, how brave and strong of heart they are to constantly work to overcome their adversity. It is their love and inspiration that has created the inclusion revolution. The third group of heroes are the coaches and volunteers. Their time and talent, mentoring and encouragement in service to our athletes has improved the quality of life of not only the athlete, but also the families of the athletes. Thank you for all that you do. The fourth group of heroes are the parents of the athletes, especially those parents that knew ahead of time the challenges they were about to face and still made the decision to choose life. There is no greater love than a parent's love for their child. Your love, strength, and devotion is the example for all of us on how we should treat our fellow man. To all my heroes, thank you for letting me be a part of your life and for changing mine. May God bless you all for all that you do. Now, I'm thrilled to introduce and welcome our next guest. She is an Olympic track and field athlete, a star athlete at Virginia Tech, and a Richmond native. And she has just today returned from Oslo, Norway, where she competed in the 100-meter hurdles and made her best time ever of 12.71 seconds. Let's give a big Special Olympic welcome to Queen Harrison.
Okay, let's just give it up for that first. That's no louder. Okay. So I was so grateful and honored by the invitation to come and help open these Special Olympics Virginia Games. As a Virginian myself, I grew up in Henrico County, attended Brooklyn Middle School, and graduated from Hermitage High School, not too far away from here. So to come and share this special moment with my fellow Virginia Olympians means more to me than you all know. When some people think about the Olympics, they may think of the actual physical activity that we put in. But for me, the Olympic and Special Olympic movement is so much more than that. It's our own fraternity of great athletes and competitors, yes, true. But even more importantly, we are all determined and we are all full of courage. The courage to be the best version of ourselves. As a hurdler, it's part of my actual job to overcome obstacles, something all my fellow athletes, we all can relate to. So I applaud you all for being the best versions of yourself this weekend, on and off your field of play. So lastly, from this Olympian to all of you all Special Olympians, this weekend is about you. Relish in the moment. Compete to your greatest ability. And most importantly, have fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, Queen. Thank you very much. Now, before we move into the next segment of the show here, we'd like to take a moment to congratulate Team Virginia. 46 athletes, along with 18 coaches, 2 youth leaders, and 4 Special Olympics Virginia staff members will journey to Seattle, Washington for the 2018 Special Olympics USA Games next month. Be sure to follow along July 1st through 6th on ESPN and our website and social media as well. Now, if you want to meet Team Virginia this weekend, many of them will be solar plunging at our first ever solar plunge. Join us as a fan, towel holder, or even a plunger tomorrow if you wish. The festival begins just to your right here outside Robins Stadium. Enjoy music, food trucks, games, inflatables, and more starting at 11 a.m. And starting at 1:15, our coolest fans will take an icy dip in an above-ground pool, all to raise money for Special Olympics Virginia. Yeah. Now, if you want to join up, find any Special Olympics Virginia staff member and they can help you make a splash. Well, it would not be a 50th anniversary party without dessert, am I right? Sweet stuff, dessert, yeah. After the ceremony, not yet, but after, thanks to Kroger, we have cupcakes to share with all of you. Yeah, round of applause for cupcakes. Who doesn't love a good cupcake? They'll all be available at the main gate at Robins Stadium on a first-come, first-served basis. Please enjoy this sweet treat as we celebrate you. Now, let's take a moment to sparkle a bit in celebration of 50 years, too. Let's welcome back longtime friend Susan Greenbaum to help us shine. Susan?
not as tall as Queen, so if I were to try hurdles, I would go under. It's such a beautiful night, and the only way you could sparkle anymore is if we had actual sparklers. Everybody, light your sparklers and hold them far away from you. Okay, so we're gonna sing Happy Anniversary to Special Olympics, but we're gonna do Happy Anniversary to us. Happy Anniversary to us. Happy 50th Special Olympics. Happy Anniversary to us. Are you ready? Happy Anniversary to us. Happy Anniversary to us. Happy 50th Special Olympics. Happy Anniversary to us and many more. It's really a thrill and an honor and a joy to get to sing for you all tonight, and we're just overjoyed to be here. And I'd like to welcome Special Olympics Virginia athlete and 50th anniversary global messenger and my friend Paul Moretti, along with Special Olympics Virginia senior vice president and also my friend Roy Zeidman, who recently celebrated 30 years with Special Olympics. Join me at the podium. They're on the spot.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you all. For 30 years, I've been inspired by all that you guys do, and I'm thrilled to have this moment to be part of the inclusion revolution. And now I'd like to ask all of the athletes to please rise and join me in the oath. So please stand and repeat after me. Let me win. But if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt. Okay, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. What do you think, Susan? Was that okay? All right, I got to bring out the big guns now. Paul, I'm going to let the expert lead you all again so we can do this much better than that for our 50th anniversary. So are you all ready? Paul, it's all yours.
Thank you, everyone. First of all, let's say happy anniversary one more time. Now the athlete's oath. Everyone, please repeat after me. Let me win. But if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt.
You know, I'm noticing there is no shortage of energy in this building tonight, in this stadium. Our speakers, you guys, athletes, coaches, great job all around. Let's give yourselves one more round of applause. And thank you to Paul, Roy, and Susan as well. Now it's time for one of the most anticipated parts of the evening, the law enforcement torch run. And guys, this is one of my favorite parts of the year, so if you haven't seen this yet, this is pretty cool. What started as a flicker 36 years ago has grown into a roaring flame of support and stability for Special Olympics athletes worldwide. In Virginia, more than 2,000 sheriff's deputies, police officers, corrections officers, federal agents, and military personnel have carried the flame of hope for the past week. These officers have covered almost 1,900 miles of Virginia roads to be here tonight. Now in its 33rd year, the Virginia Law Enforcement Torch Run, presented by the SunTrust Foundation, the Wawa Foundation, Hardee's, and Publix, with additional support from Coca-Cola, has raised more than $21 million for Special Olympics Virginia since its inception, including a record-breaking $1,300,000 this year alone. How about that? Athletes, fans, volunteers, sponsors, coaches, and chaperones, it's time to welcome the Guardians of the Flame, led by Special Agent Stephanie Gallimore with the Virginia Department of Motor Vehicles, who will also be running the final leg at USA Games. Tonight, several members of the community will also be joining the run. Each of them has raised money to help keep Special Olympics Virginia's programs free for all involved. The officers will finish their journey into the stadium, and then our Torch Run State Chair, King George County Sheriff Steve Dempsey, and Special Olympics Virginia athlete Franklin Lawson from Christiansburg will light the Olympic cauldron. Let's give a welcome to our Torch Runners. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. It has been my pleasure to be here with you this evening. Grab your cupcake on your way out, and best of luck this weekend. Thank you very much, everybody.